have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
We live?
We live, baby.
Let me make sure.
Show Liz.
We live this time. We live. Yeah, because the past like 4 shows, we did the whole countdown thing, and I'm like, we live? And I was like, yeah, we live. And then I realized, no, we weren't. But today I want to just like welcome our 2 guests. They are new to the scene. They new to the Yin Yang tribe, and this evening's discussion is going to be fantabulous. But make sure that if you haven't done so, that you hit that subscribe button. And if you like the, the engagement within the first 30 seconds, hit the like button. I mean, why waste time, right? You should know what you like within the first 30 seconds, I would think. But with that being said, we're going to do what we always do and start it off how we always started off by introducing the panelists. With that said, Naj, take it away.
Howdy, folks. I'm Najee, as y'all know. You can find me on IG at _Najee27, and then you can find me on all other platforms at Healing with Najee. So I appreciate being on the live, and I can't wait to get started.
Ooh-wee. So we're going to go in order. We got Bars. Hey, Bars, welcome to the Yin Yang Bam. How are you?
I'm good. Everybody, it's Hasadiddy Haas, aka Natural Bars, NTRLBARZ on Instagram. Check me out there. You'll learn more about me as we go.
Amazingly.
Bars.
Okay, amazing. What's up, Polly? Trey.
Yo, what's happening? It's Big Polly the Mac. You already know. You know what I'm saying? The Big Mac at this point. You know?
Big, not the little.
That's who I'm is. You feel me?
Yeah, I already got an idea of the trajectory of this show. All right, let me get comfortable.
Probably fun.
And where can they find you, Polly? On which platforms and under which addy?
Just my Instagram. Y'all can follow me at King Daddy Polly. You know what I'm saying? That's who the hell I'm is. I guess I could cam up too in a second. You know what I'm saying? Everybody all cammed up. I can get all comfortable and take my coat off in here.
Oh yeah, you at home.
Just don't take your shoes off, because that means you try to plan on staying. And yeah, we ain't that kind of family.
Word.
You can't take your shoes off.
We got tile floors. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna do it with no carpet, so keep your shoes on.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to say that.
Well, in the meantime, while he's taking off his coat, getting comfortable, I am your girl Trinity. You can find me at _D_Trinity on IG, and that's really the only place. But you can find his Yin Her Yang on IG at his Yin_Her Yang, as well as on Facebook at his Yin_Her Yang. With that being said, you guys ready?
Let's get it.
All right, so today's broadcast is on the 5 love languages, which is a guest panelist request from last week that we do this live today. So I wanted to take it a step further and not just, dive into the 5 love languages, but I also wanted to take a look at their polarized expressions, and just have a dialogue about that. I think that if we understand the 5 love languages, which is universal, and we can learn how to incorporate all 5 love languages into our love vernacular, then we will be able to be more loving to more people. But not only that, gain an understanding more about ourselves and where we are and where we would like to be. So, without further ado, let's get the video. Y'all ready?
Let's get it.
All right,
Let's get into
it.
Dr. Chapman, so great to have you here today. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you.
We're so excited to be able to speak to you. So I wanted to ask you a few questions. Well, let's start with, what are the 5 love languages for those that may not know?
The 5 love languages are 5 different ways to express love on the emotional level. And they are words of affirmation. You look nice in that outfit. Words of affirmation. Gifts. Universal, to give gifts as an expression of love. The gift says, they were thinking about me. Acts of service, doing something for the other person that you know they would like for you to do. Quality time, giving them your undivided attention. I don't mean sitting on the couch watching television together. Someone else has your attention, but you're looking at each other, or you're taking a walk together and spending time talking to each other. And then physical touch. And out of those 5, the basic concept is that each of us has a primary love language. That's the one that speaks most deeply to us. And if you don't speak their primary love language, you can be speaking some of the other languages, and they still will not feel loved. So it's designed to help couples, or any individuals really that care about each other, to express love in the most meaningful way to the other person.
All right. So that's that.
Bullshit. Calling in early.
Okay, I wasn't ready. I was caught off guard. I wasn't prepared. But
If I
since
can
we're
make my
here,
full
Polly,
judgment, can I make a full judgment?
hold on, Polly. Hold on.
Okay, I'm
Listen.
sorry.
No, please don't apologize, right? What you need to understand here is that you will be able to get it all out. And I'm going to grant you the space and opportunity right now to explain why it's bullshit.
Yeah, so firstly, just off rip, image wise, I feel like I'm looking at a silent whore and an undercover brother. Um, well, I said that too nicely. I'm looking at a silent whore and a faggot. All right. And he's expressing himself in a manner that most faggots do. You know, he's got this unrealistic version of what love is. He's kind of trying to rebrand it into something else so that it's unsuccessful. Like if people actually listen to him, they would be in unsuccessful relationships because they would think that someone is not loving them when they are not affirming them or when they are not doing the things that he's saying. And this is in fact not true. And so the most of the people in my life who actually love me, they don't affirm me. They tell me where I'm fucking up. And this is a part of the reason why none of these modern relationships work is because they have an unrealistic you know uh r- picture in their mind or image of what love is. It's distorted. It's not right. And so they can never even be in love with each other. They just have sex and go out to the movies and stuff.
You muted, Trinity.
Okay. I really was not ready for any of it.
I ain't gonna lie, I was.
Y'all see my camera off, right?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Idris.
yeah.
I do this
Um,
to every room that I go in, and I'm not trying
it's
to
okay.
really. I
It's
just really.
okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll know how to recuperate and
Mhm.
recalibrate, bounce back. Okay. So, Polly, remember backstage we had the discussion about free speech, but not being offensive.
Wait, I thought you said I could. I'm
The
sorry. I thought it.
it's the F word that may be offensive.
Yeah,
I said,
Okay.
you gotta be conscious about content. You don't want nothing removed for hateful speech, you know?
It's
yeah,
Yeah, but
yes,
I thought.
it's
Oh yeah, she did say that. Fuck. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
It's
Can you
okay.
edit me out?
Oh, you best believe I will. That's why I'm
Yes,
not
yes.
worried.
Edit me out,
All
edit me out.
right.
So let
So
me express it in a better way. Let me express it for the sake.
no,
So
no, it's
edit this
okay.
one in.
We got it. We got it. So I heard you say,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna translate it for the people with version ears, right? They're not
Okay, I'm
used to
sorry, y'all. I'm
poverty.
for real. I'm very sorry, y'all.
It's okay. Would you please stop apologizing? We're grown folks on this end, right? So what I heard you say was that, in summary, the ideology of the five love languages is a trap because it brings this false sense of you love me if you do this or if you say that. And if you don't do this and if you don't say that, then you don't love me, even though that person may genuinely love them. Yeah?
Yeah, and it also gives way for people like me sometimes that don't want love and just want other things from you. And now we know how to express it to you in a way that manipulates you into what we want. You just tell us what it exactly what it. Yeah, my love language is words of affirmation, and so we don't actually. Sometimes we don't even love you, and then we say, "Yeah, I affirm everything that you're talking about." And it gives a false premonition and it gives people a like weird outlook on dating and relationships.
So let me ask you this, P, right? You don't think, wait, do you think, because I don't know if you do or don't, right? Do you believe that encouraging words are good in a relationship to a person who you love and who you want to uplift and who you want to, instill courage into? Do you think that encouraging words are a good thing in relationships? Just yes or no? Because I'm leading up to something.
Yes. So
Okay.
encouraging words
Okay.
are
Okay.
good for a relationship, but they're
Okay.
not good
Okay.
just at
Okay. No.
any
No. No.
time.
No. 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 No.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry. Go ahead.
yes or no. Yes or
Yes.
no. Okay. Good. Do you think that kind words are are good in a relationship between two people who love each other? Just yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that humble words are good in a relationship between both parties? Yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Then, according to Dr. Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Language, which is who we were watching on the screen, that's what words of affirmation is. It's encouraging words, kind words, and humble words. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just saying, "Oh, you look good today," or "Dang, man, you got a fatty back there in those pants," or "Man, I like the way your girls are talking to me in that shirt." It's not about that, right? It's about encouraging words, kind words, and humble words. I got the book. That's how I know what the book entails. So, would you then say that, at least in that aspect, at least for that chapter, words of affirmation is not BS? Just for that part.
Well, if you don't add the context into it, then it sounds like it's true. But once you add the context into it, then you get to know the nuances of it and you get to see the layers that are not true and the layers that are false. And so, what I mean is, just like it's good to have words of affirmation, like telling someone they're doing good in a relationship, it's just as good to tell someone that they're doing bad in that relationship. And that's what it's leaving out. That's the portion that leaves the people confused about what love is.
And that's the polarized expression that I wanted to touch on. So you kind of like jumped the gun a little bit. But before we get into that, let's let's tap into our next guest. Bars, what are your what are your
Um,
thoughts on the video?
I mean, I understand the five love languages as like to me. There's it creates a limitation. I can see that, right? Like so, five love languages doesn't define proper, healthy, or wholesome love, right? However, they are in the space of love being exchanged useful, right? So when one chooses to love somebody else, which is an ideological feeling, um, is there validity of the five love languages? Yes. And to that regard, my understanding of the five love languages are that they are supportive and useful, or even a means of direction as far as how one can behave or exchange love with another.
So I heard you say that even though there may be some validity to the love languages, you also think that it causes a sense of limitation because it kind of like
Well,
says
no, what
if
I'm saying, let me clarify that. So,
okay.
about limitation, if we look at love through the lens of the five love languages and see love as that, then we're creating a limitation on what love actually is in its wholesome, healthy space. However, if we see the five love languages as a component and or a tool utilized to express and exchange love, then we could have a useful conversation.
Okay. I can see that. Naji, what do you got?
I agree with both of them. Honestly, I think it can be used as a way to manipulate, to get what you want. But to me, the five love languages is really just like the five lack languages. It's the where a person feels like they're lacking within themselves, so they need a person to affirm them. They need a person to spend quality time with them. They want a person to give them gifts. Like it's all based on a lacking space that person is feeling within themselves. Because when you actually love a person, it has nothing to do with what you can do for that person in regards to what you can bring to them. It's always about, for me, it's always about the clarity and awareness to help them become more aware of themselves. And if you need me to almost affirm you or to validate you, all I'm doing is just reinforcing the narrative that you're not enough. And that's, to me, is not about love. Love is about helping the person see their wholesomeness and not their limitations. So, yeah.
Okay. I see that the five love languages to be something that is quite useful. And I think it's quite useful because we are individual beings, but we do have a processing system. Even though we would like to believe that, well, we would like to have everybody the same way, the fact of the matter is we process things differently, but yet together, right? So, for instance, my primary love language is quality time. Quality time says that, when you and I are engaging and interacting together, right? That's important because that allows me to build memories, good memories, right? I can remember when he and I were doing this. I can remember when he and I were discussing that. Quality time is important. So the five love languages is really is about what's important to that individual. Acts of service can be more important to one person than it is to another person who believes that receiving gifts is most important, because receiving gifts is not a gold digger thing. It says you are thinking of me when I was out of your sight. And when I'm out of your sight, I'm still on your mind. That's what gift giving is about. Receiving gifts is about. It just says you're thinking about me. It doesn't have to be something that is extravagant or very expensive. It just has to be something that is present, delivered, extended. Physical touch, you know it can be important to somebody who deems comfort and soothing as something that is necessary, because why? They have every other thing in place, right? They don't require receiving gifts. They don't give a damn about the quality time. You know what I mean? They can really care less about the physical touch. And well, acts of service just may not be their thing, but that physical touch is very important because physical touch says, without saying, I'm connected to you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, right, we have five types, right? We got the gifts, we got the receiving gifts,
Mm-hmm.
we got the acts of service, we got the quality time, right? We got the words of affirmation, and we got physical touch. Of all the fives, what do each of you believe or think that their unhealthy expressions would look like? So what would an unhealthy expression of receiving gifts look like? Or acts of service look like? Quality time look like? Words of affirmation look like? Physical touch look like? What are your thoughts?
You want me to go first, or?
Sure, since you spoke up.
Yeah, I would say when it's to almost like you hurt somebody, so it's like, let me get you a gift. I called you out your name. Let me affirm. It's almost like when it's done as a way to almost like cover up the behavior that you did prior to that. Like, I know I hurt you, so let me here. I got this gift for you. I know I ain't been here time, so let's spend some quality time. And it's almost like to make up for something. So to me, that's disingenuous. Um, so I think it's when it's done from that space versus more of a, okay, I want to do this for you, or I want to do this type of thing, where it's like, oh, I made a mistake, here, let me get you a gift. Or, oh, I know I cussed you out, here, let me do this for you. Let's spend some quality time, let's make up for the wrong that I did, quote unquote. So I think that would be, when it's done like that, I think that's the opposite of the negative aspect of it.
I can see that. Manipulation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, I'm ready. Polly?
Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
You
All
good, you
right.
good, you good.
You're safe here.
Yeah, you
All
fine.
right. So, um, the way that I see it is, love is not something that you receive. Nobody receives love. Love is something that is given. And it's given from the top to the bottom, from God to the child, through the man and the woman. And so, um, God does not affirm me. He does not spend quality time and do all of that stuff. Instead, I do that for him. I spend quality time with God. I affirm God. And it's because that's the direction that I want to go in.
Oh, you and now, Polly. Polly? Calling Polly?
Polly, Bueller,
Buffering.
Bueller.
Bueller.
Polly. Polly. Go ahead. Are you back?
Buffering. No, that's me saying buffering.
Oh,
Buffering.
you good, bars. You got it.
Um. So your question, just to clarify, is what are unhealthy expressions of all of these?
Mm-hmm.
Um. First, I would just say ignorance to any of them. Right. So like not affirming your partner is unhealthy.
My bad, I had a
Um.
call, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good.
Uh. It's cool. You want to finish?
Oh, no, no. I don't want to interrupt. You go ahead, finish, and I'll piggyback.
Piggyback is one of those terms that go with the F word you mentioned earlier.
No, does it
It
really?
is?
I thought
Yes,
piggyback mean I'm gonna come behind. Oh, damn, I
it,
didn't know that.
exactly. Yes, it was. It's look it up. It comes from European origin. You guys ever heard of a porker? You know what that is?
No,
Nah.
but I do want to just allow Polly to finish his whole
Right.
thought.
Yeah. Go ahead, Polly.
Then,
Go ahead. Finish it.
then you can, pick up where
This
you left.
always happens to me, y'all. I'm so sorry. What was the last thing I said? Like,
Just start all over.
You were
It's
telling
okay.
us it. Yeah. You were telling us what is the version of being unhealthy in any of the love languages or
oh
unhealthy
yeah, yeah,
expression
yeah.
of
So I
these
was
love
saying
languages.
love is something that's given.
Hmm.
And so all of these love languages are not, when you see them as someone else giving those to you as a a form of love that you're receiving or something like this, it's like telling someone that they're a kid that they're receiving love because you gave them a sucker. It's not real. It has no validity. Like it's how do I say? Um, I don't know how to really explain it better than what I'm saying right now. I'm at a loss of words, which is rare. But I just know love so well that it's love is given and it's given upward or it's given downward and passed back upward in the form of respect. So words of affirmation and all those stuff, um, that's not really love. That's not really love.
So
Like
then, what would
quality
you say
time is
that it
not love.
is? Then what would you
So
say that it is then?
the thing here is, or what I want
Love
to
is
tell it.
sacrifice. Love is the same thing that Jesus had for the church. It's straight up sacrifice. That's what it is.
That's interesting because I was gonna make a video talking about that, but it was gonna be.
Okay.
Wait, so I'm curious if you, how would you, if you were to like to define? I know love have a baseline, but how would you define like love in your own words? Probably when you say like love is a sacrifice. Like, would you say? How would you define love? Like just love is sacrifice, or
Like, okay, so love is to me is really sticky because it could be kind of seen as idolatry a little bit if it's not, if it's unhealthy. But
okay?
it's kind of like when you put something before you, actually. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, the first time they ever experience love is when they look into the eyes of their child. That's when they know that they would die for something else.
Well, in that regard, Polly, that's where I said the five love languages could be seen as a component and or a means or a technique or tool in the exchange of love, because sacrifice is a great statement, right? Meaning like I die before. I get that. However, if we look at the active version of it, right, to be a living sentient being, to exchange that and not actually dying for the sake of someone else,
Mhm.
it does require you spending your time in ways that serve them versus you. It does require you creating acts that serve them versus you. It does require, yeah, I don't have to touch you. I don't have to hug you. I don't have to engage you in a way physically that lets you know that, that I am your support system and yeah, I'm embracing you. Um,
Okay, so
I
let me
don't
let me
have
ask you
to.
this. Hold on, let me
So
finish
so
something.
sac so no, I'm saying in your sacrifice, what does your sacrifice look like actively if not these
No,
actions?
that's exactly what I mean. It's like if someone, say for instance, someone does all of those love languages. Say for instance, I give you words of affirmations, quality time, I laugh when you tell a joke, whatever, right? And and I don't die for you. Then would you call that love?
It
How?
depends. Like I never said that so my first premise
No,
here was
it's two questions.
no, your question actually negates my first. I stated that the love languages are not love in its entirety, but simply a component and or a tool or technique to express and exchange love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're expressing and exchanging love. I think they're expressing and exchanging admiration or respect. You know what I'm saying? It's
So
like
how do you actively
love.
show love is my question to you, because you said love is a sacrifice. Okay, cool. Sacrifice in its ultimate version is to die for something. So we just agreed that you can live and love, right, without dying for something. So in that regard, are these actions not components of the way you express and exchange love?
No, no, no. I don't believe that you can live, or I don't believe that you can love something and not die for it.
So you think that love only exists to those who have died?
No, I didn't say that. It's what
Yeah,
I'm saying
that
is
is the premise of what you're saying. On a logical basis, you're saying that I don't think that one living and actively exchanging with someone is an expression of love. I think that the only way that you prove love, because I view love as sacrifice, is for one to die for the thing that they claim to love. So in the event that you do not die, you have not expressed your full expression of love, is what your
okay,
language and diction is saying.
let me be a little bit more. Let me be a little more detailed, just a little bit more. Okay. So, say for instance, I get with a woman, and then I work tooth and nail my entire life, and then my body diminishes for her. That is love, brother.
Do
Nothing
you
else
not have to
can make a
work
man do that.
do you not have to work tooth and
Let me.
nail for your own survival? Do you not have to be
That,
present
yeah,
and
but see
alive
that
to be
that.
able to do that
But
for her?
but just but just but just listen though. Listen though. You working for your own survival just proves that you love yourself. See, when you work for
Can
someone
you love
else's
someone
survival,
else without
Hold on,
loving
Haas.
yourself?
Haas.
Hold
You're
on,
not
hold
on
on. Wait,
because
trial.
you
I
guys
don't
are
want
Hold
to
on, Haas.
argue.
You're not on trial here.
not a debate.
Like, yeah, just like
Listen,
let
all I'm saying is,
let him get it out, and then you can ask because maybe your question may be answered in like his further explanation. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like he's not on trial. Just like hear him out
I
because
get that. I get that.
we want to hear everybody out because I'm nosy as hell.
so I'll give you an example. Sometimes love looks like the opposite of quality time. Sometimes loves make a man leave his family and his wife to be better. And half the time the quality time guy is just a beta male trying to have sex. And so this is the excuse. I think that the love languages are an excuse for women to be easier. And for men to know what to do in order for women to get what's being said without the traditional ways of doing it.
So
And
if
so
I
I got
may,
you a gift today. So that
hold
means
on
that I
real
was
quick,
thinking about you.
real quick. Sorry to interrupt you. For those who are just coming in and for those who have been here for a minute, can you please like hit that thumbs up button because we have more people in the room than we do likes. The more you hit that thumbs up button, the easier we will be found by the algorithm, putting us up on the charts and getting us out to the people. So just hit that thumbs up. That's all that we ask. Sorry about that, Polly. Go ahead.
No, you okay, you okay. I was just saying, like if I get a woman a gift, she's gonna have the premonition that I was thinking about her. Even if I wasn't. And then half the time I really wasn't. And so what it does is it just makes women easier, which is, trust me, they don't need to be any easier than they are already. See, this is for like the lower value men and the beta men. They need an end, and so this is their end.
Haas, what do you got on that?
That's just his view. I secede.
So I have a question for you, Polly. You said two things that piqued my interest, right? You said one of them was that, you can't always spend quality time because the person has to work. And the only people that are able to spend quality time are those beta males, or I don't know if you said beta or simp, but neither the case, doesn't matter, right? Um, Quality time is not about quantity. It's not quantity time. It's not spending a lot of time, it's spending quality time, which means that whenever he gets back from, overseas, or whenever he gets back from being off the road as a trucker, or whenever he gets home and is able to settle down, that quality time is having like eye to eye contact. The devices are away, there are no distractions. That's what the quality time is about. And I think that it is very important for both spouses or both mates, both partners, to actually experience quality time. It says, I'm into you, I'm listening to you, I'm here with you in the moment now, and you have my undivided attention. That's all quality time is about. It's about undivided attention. You're not distracted. You're not, listening to someone while you are like you're going through the magazines on the table, or oh wait, let me see if the mail came, and now you're running to the mail. It's like you're not here with me. That's what quality time is about. It's about when you are with
I
me.
know. And here's the thing.
And we have
Oh, go ahead.
so wait, and we have moments, because not every moment that we spend together can be quality time. But when we are spending that time together, let it be quality time. If we are at the table and we are having a discussion, don't have your phone out scrolling through your feed. You understand? That's the quality time I'm talking about. It's about the attention that you give that partner when it's you and her, or you and him. That's it. But go ahead. What
Okay.
did you have, Matt?
Yeah. So, in my experience, dating women, um, it's when it comes to time specifically, they say quality time, but what they truly mean is quantity time. They, if you spend if you go to a 5-star restaurant with a woman, I'm talking about top dollar, and you spend a day with her, that's not enough, especially if you don't do it on a regular basis. It's about consistency um, of quality time. So it's really about the quantity of the quality time, or whatnot, when it comes to most of the women. And a lot of times, like, men who got purposes don't be having that quantity of quality time. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps the mailman does, which is why you always hear of the mailman or the UPS man sliding right in where your husband should have been. And these are low value men, of course, who need their end. They're like, he's not giving you words of affirmation. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Did he buy you a gift? How about you a rose today? It's their end. It's like the beta male's end to have sex with people's wives.
Is she a wife if you got sex with her?
Technically speaking, I'm going to be honest. Women are very vulnerable, and especially the most feminine women, and which are the better wives. Like, the better wives are really vulnerable to other men because of how their level of femininity. And it's like when a woman is what they call not friendly. A lot of men be like, I want a girl who's not friendly. She mean. I want a mean girl because she gonna keep them boys off of her, and she gonna only be focused on me. Same with the women today. They say the same thing. I don't want no friendly nigga. I want me a nigga who mean to these hoes. That's the same thing they say. Everybody wants this non-friendly person, and I'm telling you, that person is a masculine person. So if it's a man, kudos to you. If it's a woman, you need some revamping because you're supposed to be friendly. And as a man, you're supposed to be protective of her friendly. You're supposed to be making sure that friendly ain't going off too much where it's flying off like a butterfly. You understand? And but for a woman not to be feminine is part of the issue that we have today in these relationships. These men is getting with them and they realizing, damn, ain't got no say with these women for real. They, you know what I'm saying? They got the say. They got the direction. They telling me what to do. And that's a part of it right there. It's like the more feminine women, they might cheat faster than the masculine women, even though masculine women cheat. Feminine women fall vulnerable, and when they cheat, they don't come back. Like, they were a feminine woman, a real wife. When she cheat on you, she's gonna leave with that man, and you're never gonna see her again. And so, but the masculine woman, she'll cheat and come back home, just like a man.
Trinity, hey, where you going?
Oh God! Oh God! God!
I was watching your facial expressions. You're funny.
I'm working on composure, and I haven't quite.
That makes sense. It reminded me of like the Man in Black, that little alien guy who was in the body. He's like, I have a great
Did I say something too crazy
day.
that time though?
Huh?
I didn't say nothing real crazy.
No, everything you were saying, like from my perspective, I definitely get about the quantity time for sure. Because and there was towards the end, you kind of lost me a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie, but I definitely understand where you're going in regards to the masculinity and femininity. Because how I describe masculinity and femininity is the same way. Masculine is how a woman behaves when she feels unsafe, but that's all humans behave masculine when they feel unsafe. It's fight, flight, freeze, faint, fawn, disassociate, or run. Like when a person feels, that's normal. And when a person feels safe, they open up. They're more open. They're more softer in a sense. And so I get that, and I definitely understand where you're coming from. Even with the quantity time, a lot of times when a woman is connecting with the guy, especially when a woman really likes the guy, she wants to be underneath, all in his skin, like into him, like fully. And a lot of times when a guy has things that he's working on, he's building towards, he won't be able to give that woman that quantity time as consistent as she wants. But that to me comes from a lack of enoughness within yourself. I think probably you give me an echo.
Yeah, if you're not talking, if you can just to eliminate the background noise, can we just
Um,
mute the mic?
oh, yeah, there we
It
go. We good.
helps for editing purposes.
Oh yeah, you good. So I think it's one of those things where, um, damn, I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. I'm still stuck on what Polly was saying.
Oh
I'm still
yeah, the marriage stuff when he was talking about the math. I get it. I understand, but there's some stuff that was kind of like, okay, that's a little different. So like the masculine woman will cheat and then come back to the man, and the feminine woman would cheat and stay with the dude that she cheated with. Like, yeah, oh,
Yeah, facts, bro. See, a masculine woman, she be cheating because she horny. But a feminine woman, she cheats because her man is not masculine enough, or she's not receiving what she feels is love, or from him, and so that's why she replaces him. A feminine woman don't cheat because, oh, my pussy throbbed today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the masculine woman. There are women that like that, trust me, and we love them. You know we do. But unfortunately for a relationship, they're gonna be running your shit. They're gonna run you, bro. That's what they do. That's what they boss bitches. You know, that's what boss bitches do.
do you think? Just curious. Do you think if a masculine woman comes across a masculine man, a real masculine man, and when I say real, it's not the external
No,
thing. I'm a masculine man
I know what
because
you're talking about.
yeah. Do you think
Uh huh.
her the way she maneuvers will shift because of the energy she's in regards to what?
No, in today's world, no, it doesn't. She will go and call eunuchs. She has the spirit of Jezebel. And unless you're Jehu himself, you ain't got you ain't got no choice but to, what I'm saying, get with the program, or leave. You have to get away from her in order to beat her. You can't defeat her face on. Like, she has many men that will wish death upon you. Do you know the story of Jezebel?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you just a little part of it. I'm not
All
gonna even
right.
finish it all. I just want to tell you a small portion of it. So Jezebel had a husband, and she
Mhm.
ran that motherfucker like a dog. And and let me tell you something. The husband was so bitch that he wanted to go and purchase some land from this man.
Mhm.
And this man was like, you know what? Nah, this the land of my forefathers, our God. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it. I don't want to sell it. Don't you know this nigga went to his wife, the Jezebel, and cried, fucking cried to her. And as soon as he did this, she put out misinformation about that man, saying that he was a wicked person, he blasphemed God, and she had the people do it. She ain't had to touch him at all. She just had to defame his reputation, and they took him down. Sound familiar?
His levels to it because it definitely sounds familiar. I think there's levels to it, just understanding the trauma and whatnot. But I definitely get how that could be the behavior of some woman. But I think there's more factors to it. I don't know if that's the behavior of a woman when she's dealing with the guy. She's not associating to hurting her, so she's only that way because you hurt me type thing. But I could.
Nah, that's not that. They listen, women, they like to push the envelope. They want to see how masculine you are. And so, they're gonna test that, bro. They're gonna if they want to know what the line is.
Like help. Okay.
It's just like a kid. It's just like a teenage boy or teenage girl. They need to know what the boundaries are to know how masculine you are. How patriarchal is my situation right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. And so the women from time to time, they do these little shit tests and they don't even know that they're doing it. They just do it out of like biology or some shit. And and they just need to know that they're still with the man that they met. Because if you're not, and if they could successfully change you in any way, they're just gonna leave you for another man who you used to be like. And see, that's the problem in today's society. That's why it's a problem when I can go and have sex with someone's wife tonight. If I chose to, not if she chose, I could call and have sex with someone's wife. And that's a shame. It
Do you
shouldn't be this way.
do you think a wife is a woman, or you think more like it's just based on like a wife is the type of characteristics that a woman showcase, or a wife is just based on the label of being a wife?
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry, I got a call.
You good? You good? Do you think a wife is based on the label of being a wife, or a wife is more so the characteristics that a woman showcases?
Oh, no. Wife is the same thing as you say, like doctor,
So it's,
lawyer.
it's more so the label.
It's an occupation.
Okay. So
Yeah. It comes
Trinity.
with duties and responsibilities.
So it's like a role, it's like a role, like a job. So, bro, that's what I be
Yeah, it
telling
is.
people.
It's
That's
exactly
all
like a
it is.
job.
It's a playing. You playing a role. You're playing a character. A wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. It's just a role that a person is playing. Like it's a character. Like I want you to
Facts.
play these characteristics. Like you don't in your head. You don't say, I want Ashley, my wife. I want Sarah, my wife. Like you don't have a name. You just have a certain characteristics that you want based on the title. So that's all it is. Like this person, when a person says my husband, they're not thinking of a specific name. They're thinking of certain characteristics that a person has or showcases.
If I
Facts.
may, I want to hear from Haas. He's been mute for quite some time while I'm over here having an emotional aneurysm over here.
Man, I don't even know. Like I said, I think the unhealthy expression of all of this is mainly ignorance to it. This has been an interesting discussion so far, and I probably got another 10 minutes before I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, so give us something before you go. Give me something for me to ponder on in your absence.
Um, I don't know. I think I said it in the beginning, right? Love is ideological. It's something that people create in their mind and is rather subjective as far as how we conceptualize it. There's some points I could agree with, right? Like the role and characteristics that we play here in these spaces and what that looks like. And then ultimately, that the five love languages aren't love in its totality and uh, can can be seen as subjective too, right? Like they could be changed, they could be used as manipulation. Um, what we receive as love isn't often what we give as love. Um, and just because you receive love one way isn't uh, the way the person you're loving necessarily receives love. And I think that that's a common miscommunication in the exchange of love is people try to give the love that they want or right, like it's like, oh, I want these things, so this is how I'm loving you. But just because you're loving a person in a particular way and or you know exercising what you believe or what you receive as love as your expression, it doesn't mean that they're receiving or feeling love is as they want.
Well, wouldn't that then say that the five love languages are actually valid because it illustrates, right? It shows the different ways that we receive love. Because you just said that, you know, receiving love is different from person to person, but wouldn't that then say that, okay, well, these groups of individuals, because they have the same desires, they have the same, you know, wants, right? They process the world in a
Well,
similar way. Go ahead.
all right. So the keyword you used is valid, and I think that
Hmm.
in essence becomes my argument, or like I go in the opposite direction. It that very thing makes it invalid, right? Because if yes, we can acknowledge it still breaks down to the ideology of it all, right? Like, which means the way you ideate love may not be the way I ideate love, and conditioning and patterns tend to have a means of changing, right? The way people perceive and or conceptualize things. So someone may not ideate love in a particular way, but then eventually get conditioned to it and or change their views on that ideology, depending on the environment and or their willingness and want to stay there, which gives a lot of light to uh Polly's arguments here, right? Or points. Um, And I think that, yeah, like in essence, are the five love languages valid? Yes, in the spaces that they're valid. But if we over concern ourselves with aligning based on that, then we're pretty much like, you're doing too much. Like, like be
Yeah.
aligned where you're aligned.
I I'll just say something right quick. I think it's one of those things where, for me, how I define love is just acceptance. It's 100%. I accept you for who you are. I don't want you to change to be something that you're not. I think a lot of times people use the love languages as a way to manipulate, and I think that's where the the misunderstanding is, because it can be a form of manipulation, but it also can be a way of showing that you do love a person. It's not just like you love me by giving me gifts. It's not like a one end all, like the only way you can love a person is through gift giving. It's like there's other ways you can love a person, but gift giving can also be a way to manipulate a person. It's just like understanding the duality between the two. And I think that's where the misunderstanding is with it.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of this live, is to actually demonstrate the polarized expressions, which each and every one of you have touched upon this evening. You know what I mean? It's about, like, for instance, right, that gift giving, receiving gifts. So for, let's say I'm in a relationship with Najee, right? And my love language and my love language is receiving gifts, right? Menaji, Lord have mercy.
Monogamy?
Najee. Najee could manipulate me by, like, blackmailing me, right? So receiving gifts, I would think the polarized expression of that from Najee towards me would be blackmailing, right? But what no one has expressed, which I'm surprised about, is that how I can manipulate Najee with my love language. If you love me, you would do this. If you love me, you would buy me the car. If you love me, you would buy me the most expensive whatever I want. You understand? So there are polarized expression. Now, before you go, Haas, I want you to answer this first, right? Do you think that, let's say, there is some validity to this love language business, right? Do you think that the way that we express love in terms of how we want to receive love is based on how we were neglected in our childhood? So if I was an individual who had really no parents because they were working often, or maybe there was an absentee parent, or maybe just everybody was just simply too
I'm gonna
busy.
answer your question. I can already answer it. And
Okay, go ahead.
my
Uh huh.
answer to that is already something that I generally say. Uh, uh, First, I'm gonna open up with a quote, which is, "I'm not what I think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I'm what I think you think I am." And that then goes to my theory that I repeat to people, which is that we don't relate to each other transparently, truthfully, or confidently. We relate to each other through a filter of our own traumas. So absolutely, the way we conceptualize and ideate love or our needs come from our own ability to be present and wholesome with um, our self sufficiency. And I think that no human is made in a fully self sufficient way initially, and I think life experience for distances us from that self sufficiency, and it takes us time and growth, and almost the purpose of like life is to get back to a space of understanding where you can have that self sufficiency and own it.
Love it. All right. Well, I know you have to go, and I'm not going to keep you hostage any longer.
Again, gratitude for having me. This is a good topic.
Yep.
Yeah,
And peace, prosperity to everybody. Keep this going.
appreciate it. And
Vice versa.
thank you again for coming on, bro. I enjoyed the conversation. I wish it could go longer because I enjoy how your mind works. So I appreciate it.
Gratitude. Peace, y'all. I got probably engagements though. I'll plan better next week.
Oh yeah, you good. You good. I
Yep.
got it. You good.
Well, I'm glad to know that he's coming back next week, so I won't
I
have
do
to
want to
butter
add
him
in
up.
though.
Oh yeah, Polly. Oh yeah, never mind.
Hold on, wait a minute. I got to get the picture. I got to get the picture in the frame because she's a cutie pootie. You know what I mean? That's when life was.
Uh, yeah, I was saying though, I think people are confused about the exchange of love. And so a lot of people think that the love exchange is me giving you love and then you giving me love.
Mhm.
And I think that's the misconception. Love is a give and take. As he give, he shall taketh away. And so the man takes from the woman. That's what our whole ordeal is. Even in conception, the sperm forms this placenta, which drains the woman of everything that the child needs for its survival. The man is here to take from the woman. And in that taking, there's a giving. That is the love exchange. That's the actual love exchange. The man is taking and giving to the same woman. And so it's not the man giving the woman love and then the woman showing the man affection. And it's just they mixing it up so that we don't stay together.
So you're saying women
That this
give
is
love?
old knowledge. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
this
no,
is old knowledge.
I think my perspective on love is complete is kind of similar to yours, but not just to the depths. I think it's not even it's not transactional. I think the transactional is learning one another and learning yourself through that experience. I think a lot of times people are trying to disconnect from learning themselves by trying to connect to another person. So then they try to make it a love thing, but it's not really love at that point. It's an attachment thing because you're now trying to get something from a person instead of connecting to them for who they are. It's about where you're. It's almost like a host and what is it like a damn, I'm thinking like a leech.
Parasite.
A parasite, yeah, a parasite and a host to where you're like trying to leech off this person. And I think that's a lot of times that's rooted in like the trauma or the not enoughness. Most people are insecure. They don't feel like they're enough. So they need to almost like play a role to get what they want. Almost like what you consider like a beta male where he's lacking in certain areas, but he's trying to overcompensate by showing up and being this way for this woman. So I think that's where a lot of all this is coming from is because it's a trauma thing. People are trauma bonding and saying that it's love when it's not because you're not actually trying to connect. You're trying to almost like take. You're trying to receive, and that's where the disconnect is. I think even with like men and women, I think most of us are. It's a human character. We're all human beings. So I think a lot of times people like, as a man, you do this, and as a woman, those are social programming. We learn to almost like take these certain characteristics that society tell us a man does this, a man is a provider, protector, and all this stuff. But it's like women do this, like everything that a man can do, women do, like and even in nature. So it's like understanding the dynamic and the flow of things is really about that we both do the same thing. I think it's just more when it becomes like a trauma thing where you're like almost like mooching off this woman or the woman is mooching off this guy based on their own insecurities and where they feel like they're lacking within themselves.
Well, I understand that as well, and I agree with a lot of it. The woman leeching off of the man or the man leeching off the woman, I really, in relationships, I kind of don't see it that way.
Mhm.
It's really the man taking from the woman and then also giving to the woman. That's how I
When
see
you
it.
say taking, like what are they taking from the woman? Because when I think of taking, it's almost like
Everything,
you got a purse,
everything.
and I just come and take like snatching. So is it,
Yeah, everything. So first of all, you take the most important thing that she owns, which is her body. That's the number one thing, really. That's more important than her purse. That's more important than anything else in her entire life. And you take that away from her. That's yours. You actually call it yours on the street. And you
wait
know,
before you when you say take, what do you mean? Like taking her? Like you talking about having sex? Is like taking. That's what I'm trying to like take her body.
yeah, yeah, having
Okay.
having sex
Okay.
is when a woman gives her body, therefore you are taking her body.
Okay.
And so when you take her body, the exchange is love. It's really the physical exchange of love is a wedding ring. It's not affirmations, it's not all this extra stuff. It's a wedding ring. And so that's just it. It's really simple, and this has been like an ancient knowledge, and then they just come and give all this new stuff to us in order to fuck us up even more. I'm sorry.
You could.
Oh yeah, I can say fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck us up even more. Y'all fucking us up. Y'all need to stop with this new age bullshit. And the old people had it right. Suck a dick.
But it
Oh, I
becomes
can't say that one. I can't say that one.
you mute it still, Trinity. But it becomes when it's about money. It's people don't realize, like, if you study the history of, of why we do the things we do in today's society, you'll realize a lot of the stuff shifted when they started making money off of it. So now if I tell women and they live happily ever after, women are desiring the fantasy idea of what it takes when it comes to marriage, but they don't understand the reality of it. They believe a boyfriend is the same thing as a husband when it's not the same. So now they're doing all this stuff. My man is like, it becomes like they blurred the lines. So now people want to get married, but they don't know how to relate to one another, but they want the ideal. And it's like, it's, if a person says they want to be with you, you're single until you're married. But it's like, no, we can play boyfriend or play girlfriend, and then
Man, you're absolutely right.
Sorry, another
Absolutely right.
I was having like another emotional aneurysm over here. Um, let me ask you a question, both of you. Jesus, let me ask both of you a question. For each of you, do marriage begin in the mind or on paper?
for me,
Hmm.
um, marriage is a paper thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
Polly.
because yeah,
Oh,
For me, whether it's paper or verbal, it's an agreement between a father and a son-in-law.
so that would be choice C that I didn't give. Okay, so
Yeah, they
it
could put it on paper though. It kind of secures it a little more than just verbally.
okay. So that makes sense, right? That you guys think the way you do about what it is we're talking about. For me, marriage is it's a mind thing. The commitment begins in the mind. Marriage is a commitment. And while I do agree that boyfriend and girlfriend doesn't carry the same weight as husband and wife, I believe that it's simply a mind thing because you can be married on paper and then file a divorce, right? And or you can be with a person with marriage in mind. Not saying that I'm hoping to walk down the aisle one day, or I'm hoping that one day he takes me to the court, or one day I hope to have like a ceremony on a ship. Najee caught that. Um,
And I'm trusting he's watching too. So he.
you know, I mean, maybe I can't have the wedding on a ship, but a ship trip would be nice, right? So, I think that it really is a mindset. I believe marriage is a mindset, and a wife is a disposition. I, as a wife, don't function the same way as I did as a girlfriend, right? As a girlfriend, in my mind, with him being my boyfriend or him being my man, whoever the him he was back then, was always replaceable. But when I came into, my union with my guy, my marriage began before he even arrived. You understand? So that made me a wife because I'm looking at it long term. I'm looking at it and from a success standpoint. There is no out of this. This has to work. Meaning that I'm gonna make it work. Now, in terms of love languages, Polly, what you said about love being given and not necessarily received, I 100% agree. Because I don't think that love demands itself back to itself, right? I don't think that love requires you to be, to do, to have, to say, to feel in order for it to become itself, right? I truly am in agreement with you, Najee, that love is just simply something that is given because you're it. It's not something that should be given to look to get back, right? I believe that wholeheartedly. I also think that when we understand that the love languages is not about how we receive love, but to incorporate and embody all five languages so that whoever, whoever our partner is, we will know how to demonstrate love because love is a demonstrative act. It's not an emotion. It's a demonstrative act. So
So I'm curious. When you say you were married in your, were you talking about more so your relationship to you? Like you decided I want to make the change and be a certain way for me, and that's gonna be the way that he wants, or was it more of like a because you said he wasn't there, like you knew?
okay, well, I'm selfish, self-centered,
Hmm.
unapologetically so. So I knew that the man that I wanted would be the man that I can experience myself as myself with as much ease as I can. So
Hmm.
I had to get to learn who the hell I was and how I functioned best,
Hmm.
and then decide on the man from there. Because me as a wife, I find a man hoping he will be a suitable husband. So yeah, it's everything I do is always about me.
So yeah, because that's kind of like how I when you said the marriage is like how I see it is like the concept is on paper, but it's a mental thing. Like I was saying, more marriage itself. That's how I took it. Like when you said marriage, I was thinking like more on paper, but it's definitely a mindset. To me, it's understanding the relationship to yourself. Though I think that's
Yeah,
the real true marriage, just the mind and the body, or the soul in your body. That's the only marriage we're actually in. People just reflect us back to us. But I think a lot of times people think marriage is supposed to be a certain way, and that's where it becomes a disconnect because now you have this almost like idea of how it should be versus the reality of what it actually is, and it's based on your relationship to yourself. So it's like I want this person to be a certain way because I don't like how I feel inside of my own body. And now we're married. As my husband, you supposed to, or as my wife, you supposed to do these, all these different things, but these different things just a reflection of what you're not bringing to yourself, but you having the awareness to kind of recognize, okay, I'm this way for me, so if I want to experience differently, I have to change my relationship to myself. And most people don't. Like I don't want to connect to how I feel. I want you to change your behavior so I can feel better. And it's like, well, you felt that way prior to experiencing me. This is not the first time you felt this way. So to make me responsible for it almost like keeps me being a victim to your own emotions and keep you being a victim to your own emotions as well. So I get it.
yeah. It's a thing where it's like I don't I, I don't believe that I should hold you reliable or accountable or responsible for anything that I'm feeling or I'm thinking. However, with that being said, I believe that when you are in a relationship that there should be space, right? So I think that today us as women, when we're looking for providers, we really shouldn't be looking towards monetary values or things because we are so independent. We make
Yeah.
six figures. We
Mhm.
don't need a man. We can get it on our own because we've been getting it on our own, and we can do what the hell we want to do. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my like. We got so many reasons
It's
why a man, we should not be looking to men for financial provision. However, I think that a man in a relationship with a woman should be that provider for space to express, space
safety.
so that we can grow and develop, right? Space so that we can truly come into ourselves, so that we can live this inner child's true
Freely.
potential out.
Hmm.
The reason why I got this picture up is so that I don't have to write a letter to my younger self,
Just talk
because I carry her in me as my inner child, and I am living her out as me today.
with the freedom to do so because nobody's gonna whoop your butt or tell you can't do that or none of that. So
Tell you right now. Well, they can whip my butt, but you know what? It'll heal.
oh, that's funny. And but
It'll heal.
that's what it's all about. Being
Yeah.
able to freely express and be your most. That's why my love language, if anybody was to ever ask what a love for me, my love language is authenticity. Just be you. Like I love you being you because there's only one you. Like people are so trying to be like everybody else and copy, and it's like, no, that's so like authenticity is the beauty and connection, not you playing a role and you being a certain way so I don't have to. And it's like once you take that authenticity away, now you're wanting this person to be a certain way, and then the way that you want them to be is not who they actually are, because if it was who they were, you wouldn't want them to be that way. So it's just like it creates more of a disconnect, because for me, I'm like, oh, just be you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to make you wrong for it. Like I know me, and I'm not going to judge me for being the way that I am, so I can't place my own projection onto you and say you're wrong for being the way that you are. I never walked a day in your shoes. I don't know what you've been through. We could have been through similar experiences, but my DNA is different. My mom is different from your mom. Like it's understanding like people are okay being human. It's just when we think we know how another person should be, where it becomes a disconnect, because and you think you know how another person should be, it's you projecting the way that you aren't showing up for yourself onto them. And that's why people judge. You only judge another person based on the judgment that you're placing on you. You only don't like another person doing something based on all the stuff that you do to yourself that you don't like. It's just one of those things where once you start to see like we're mirroring each other, then the value and a connection comes from who they are, not what they can do for you. And I think that's a lot of times we miss that because, again, trauma, we're looking through it from a lacking space. I don't want this, nobody else to have you. I don't want nobody else to experience you. I need to hold you down. Fear is a restrictive energy. Fear suppresses. Love is a abundance energy. It expands. So it's understanding when you love a person, they expand within themselves, because now you can show up and be your most authentic self because there's some sense of safety. And I see what you're saying about men providing that. I think but it's based on that man's level of awareness, his level of understanding within himself. A lot of guys, they are quote unquote men on a physical level, but emotionally and mentally, they're children. And I think that's where if you're not able to be a safe space within yourself, you'll be able to go off hinge on a woman because of how she is, because it's triggering something inside of you, and y'all are mirroring each other that way. So I think providing that safety is really the key, but people think providing is about finances when it's really not.
Polly, what do you have? And I like what you said, by the way, Najee.
Appreciate it.
Polly,
Pop Bueller.
Polly, Polly. You
We can't hear you now.
gotta unmute.
Are you muted?
No, he's not. You might have to exit out, and then I'll bring you back. but you have to come back.
But you had to come back.
I like saying that, Polly.
Pro- Bu-
Polly. Bueller.
Bueller. Bueller.
But yeah, you said a few things that had me want to interrupt, but I'm practicing
Oh, you could.
composure.
When we took a break, I had to hit my. There's a difference between sober me and high. It just. You could have just. Boop, 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 whap, whap.
There you go. Now we hear you. I can't
um,
stand this guy. I don't like him right now.
but I was saying, well, I was asking him, do you think that women should be hit?
Nah, I'm not a. Nah, I don't think so.
Do you think that
Um,
kids should be hit?
nah, I don't think kids should be hit either.
So, what do you
I
think the
think
punishment should be for a woman who hits her child?
I don't think nobody should hit anybody.
that was the question. The question was about punishment. What did you think about punishment towards a woman who hits her child?
I
That's
don't
a
think
weird question.
what I don't. So let me think. I think the severity of what's happened determines the punishment. I would say. So it depends on how severe. If she pops them, like don't do that, or if she like beats them and physically like abuse them, then I think there's levels to it. So it just
Yeah,
depends.
yeah. I'm not talking about abusing. I'm talking about popping him in his mouth when he come out the mouth crazy.
I don't think there should be no punishment for it. I think it should be a conversation to understand like why you react in that way. But I don't think it
Okay,
should.
and then after the conversation, when you say don't react that way, you gotta react that way. You gotta react another way, and then the
Mhm.
child still react that way, right?
Or the child or the woman.
Oh, my phone's about to die. Hold
He's
on.
about the child. So to answer the question, because I have a child, right? I allow my children to suffer consequences. So instead of beating my child when she was in junior high school in seventh grade to get good grades, to act right and stuff like that, I let her know if you don't do it this way, that is going to happen. So I told her, you keep acting a fool, you're gonna be attending summer school. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't beat her into submission. I didn't threaten her. I didn't punish her. I allowed her ass to fail. And guess what? That was the last time my ass attended summer school, and she's been catching A's and B's ever since then. I think I did damn great. You understand?
Good,
I
man.
believe that violence
I've been
is the.
high. I even. Oh my bad. Hold on.
I believe that it's okay. The beauty about this, right,
Um,
is that I can mute your
I,
ass. Oh,
That's
you
not
didn't have
you.
to drop. I didn't drop him.
Oh, he said his phone was dying.
There you go. Right? You about to blame me. So
I was about to say you hit the wrong button. It was like
yeah, this is not
I can
IG.
mute
I
it.
do that on IG a lot. I'm like, oh damn it. Wrong platform. But I believe that violence is the lowest form of communication.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I don't need to beat my children into submission. So as long as that they fail, they fail when they're young. So I'll be there to catch them. I'll be there to pick up the pieces. I'll be there to remedy situation. I'll be there to help them get through it. So that when they get older and they don't get it right, they know that, listen, I got this.
Yeah.
I've been here, not here, but I've been here before in the terms of like where I didn't get what I want, or, I didn't get it right in the moment, but I got it now. I taught my girls life skills. No, the world is not going to coddle you, no matter how much I love you, no matter how much I don't want you to suffer. I will allow you to fail. And I remember, Najee, walking my last one to school one day, and I'm like, hey yo, like, what the hell do I got to do to get you to like act right? Now, mind you, I'm on the way to school to talk to one of her teachers, right? She said, I don't know. It's not like you beat me. And I said, I looked at her, I'm like, so I got to beat you to get it right? She said, I don't know. I don't know. I said, well, I guess I know. I'm going to let your ass fail. because you're gonna be the only 30-year-old in 7th grade looking like a goddamn idiot, a grown ass adult in a 7th grade chair because you don't know how to act right. But guess what? I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be simply magically delicious, and your ass is gonna be a failing 30-year-old in 7th grade in the chair. I will let you fail because your failure has nothing to do with my success. So if you want to fail, have your life turn out to shit to where you are a 30-year-old repeating 7th grade for the umpteenth time, and that's okay with you, then do it. I don't care. But listen, don't tell anybody I'm your mother. That was her last year ever doing summer school.
I believe it. That was funny. Yeah, I think I'm like under the belief. It's just for me. I was asking I think it's just asking questions. I don't think we ask, like, a lot of times the parents feel like you need to just listen to me and because my rules, and I'm like, you haven't. It took you a bunch of mistakes to get to where you are now. So how do you feel like you this person, they don't get the opportunity to make mistakes. They can't fail forward. They have to fail exactly and be right where you're at right now. It's like you have to understand. You have to talk, like communicate. Like they know why you just got to ask them or create an environment where you could talk. Like when you asked, like, what do I got to do? I don't know. What like it's like having that dialogue to where it's like, oh, okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I ask you, you don't really know, so I'm gonna say this is what I'm gonna do. You do what you do. At the end of the day, this is the life you want to live. It's your life. I'm not gonna try to dictate how you live your life. You want to keep making your bed, you're gonna have to sleep in it. It's on you. It is what it is. I did my part. I tried to show up. I was doing it my way, and it didn't work. So let me just take a step back and allow you to do it your way because you want to do this. You do it then. This is what you want. Keep messing up in school. We'll see you. And when you're a 30-year-old, keep doing it. And I think a lot of times parents have this mindset where it's like, I don't want my kid to behave. I don't want my kid to go through these experiences. But it's like
because whatever my child goes through reflects on me. It's a reflect on me. If my child is a success, I was a great parent. If my child is a bum, I was a horrible parent. They don't understand that there's this thing called individualism. You understand? That's why I told my daughter, if you're gonna fail, you can do so, but don't let anybody know I'm your mother, because they're gonna blame me. They're gonna question where was I. I want you to be able to say I ignored everything my mother said. Okay, I was rebellious. I didn't listen. I want to go my own way. I did my own thing, and these are the shitty consequences that I got. And you know why I told her that? Because that's how I look at my mom. She gave me the advice. She gave me the warning. She gave me the wherewithal. She told me what would happen if I did, and I did because I thought, I don't care. That's like really what I thought. I don't care.
Yeah.
You understand? And I got what I got. So I had to deal with with whatever comes with all of my actions and my feelings and my thoughts. So I believe that I extended the greatest gift of all, freedom. You have the freedom to fail when you're young. You have the freedom to fail when you're naive. You have the freedom to fail when you're ignorant. But most importantly, you have the freedom to fail because you have me. Wherever you failed, I can remedy. But I want you to experience your results of your actions so that you know to make better decisions for yourself. And I'm not telling you what to do, who to be, how to become, and how to feel. Like, no, you're going to do you, but realize you're going to get results. And let me tell you, this is a bittersweet moment. 19 years old, a month shy of 20, and she already has her own apartment.
Oh, damn.
My firstborn, she moved out at 20, got her own apartment, and she has 5 kids now, her and her husband. You understand? So I think I did good, and I didn't have to beat them into submission. I didn't have to, put them in timeout. Yeah. Like, if I put them in timeout, who's gonna get me something to drink? Who's gonna change the channel on my TV? Who's gonna
be my slave? Who's gonna massage my feet and give
what I'm saying?
Who's gonna be like, the remote's right there. Come bring me the remote that I can grab. That's within arm's reach. I just don't want to move my arm. Come all the way from downstairs and come grab this remote for me. Like, bro, that remote. All right, here you go.
punishing them like punishing myself. I'm good. I'd rather you just fail and you can still do what I ask.
Mhm.
Go to the store for me. You know, at least you going outside, right? Stop it.
But I do have to go.
So do I. But
This
it
was
was nice.
amazing. It was amazing live. Yeah, it was fun. I like Polly's interesting. I like the other dude too. It was fun. It was engaging. I think he kind of shut down. I wish he would have, because I liked how his mind, like the way he was thought. I'm like, oh damn, okay, I see where you're going. All right, okay, he's on. All right, I'm following. But towards the end, I get it. But as always, I appreciate everybody who tuned in, came on. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the likes. I just appreciate all the text messages from the people who's watching and telling me their thoughts. Thank y'all. I love y'all. And as always, you can follow me on IG at _Najee27 and on all the other platforms at Healing with Najee. Trinity, you did your thing yet again. I appreciate you for doing your thing with the topics. I appreciate Polo for the topic too. So yeah, thank everyone.
I hope everything is well with him. I didn't hear from him
Oh,
today,
okay.
you know, but he's definitely in our thoughts, especially since this was his topic. I do also appreciate our guest panelists. Even though I was having my emotional aneurysm, I completely understood where he was coming from, which is why I couldn't say anything. All I can do is just silently. I can't wait to watch me back.
I'm not an alien. I'm human.
You know what? I'm gonna get the hell off this goddamn thing right here. I'm the Vaya Devonta Trinity, your favorite host on YouTube tonight at 10:35 p.m. But for real though, I really do enjoy, our weeks together. These discussions, it allows us to explore the mind. If anybody knows me, they know that I am obsessed with the mind, and I want to get as much information about the content within it as I can. And the only way I can do so is vicariously through you people, by you guys experiencing what you experiencing, developing the thoughts that you develop, and moving about accordingly. So with that, I appreciate you guys for being you, being brave, feeling and stuff, and expressing all of your ideas despite the fact that many people won't agree. There will be some people who want to debate, and there will be other people who just don't give a damn. But there are times I don't give a damn about what somebody may be saying either. So hey, I get it. The feeling is mutual. With that said, tune in next week, Wednesday. The topic will be, I don't know yet, but by Monday, I'll know.
Oh yeah.
And by Tuesday, you guys will have an idea because you will hear my lives, which I've learned to try to transition into Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So it's been real. It's been fun. And can't wait to see you guys next week. And in the meantime, in between time, stay magically delicious as we remain what, my boy Naj?
Spiritually redefined. You already know.
Absolutely. Later.
Peace.